Are you a bad person? And how would you know? In chapter 57, we redefined our understanding of hell, not as a place of eternal punishment imposed by God's righteous anger, but as the logical consequence of focusing on self-interest and worldly pleasure. And so, one of the first things I notice in this chapter is the statement that those who are in the hells are not in fire. The fire is an appearance. Those there are conscious of no burning, but only of a warmth like that which they had felt when in the world. And at the start of this chapter, we learn that this hellfire is a descriptive expression using physical imagery of the state focused upon self-interest rather than being a form of physical punishment. Swedenborg's account of hell makes it a place we want to go if we are selfish and worldly. But even so, who in their right mind would want to go there? So in paragraph 574, where he describes what it is like to enter hell as your eternal spiritual home, perhaps it's useful to set aside the idea of hellfire and ask, what is it like to get caught up in evil? Perhaps we should ask a drug addict, why would you trade this for this? Because the evil spirits he describes sound uncannily like drug dealers. When you get a chance, pause the video and have a look at this. As with all evils, we don't actually need someone pursuing us to fall victim to them. And if someone is trying to sell us something, we'd be immune if we had no desire for it. Every evil has its own lures and attractions, and every one of them is a hell in itself. There's a revealing scene in the Apple TV series Morning Wars between two characters played by Steve Carell and Martin Short. Both men have abused women, but Carell's character is unable to see his own failings. He recognises Short as a monster, but he cannot see that he is becoming one himself. You see, we think we know what abuse looks like, but only from the outside. It's easy to see the evils in other people, but what we desperately need to know is what they're like on the inside. This is why self-examination is so important, to develop our conscience, to check our actions and take stock of our own spiritual states of being as honestly as we are able to, without excuses or explanations. We need to be able to recognize our own thoughts and desires and the paths they beckon us down. Only then will we spot the early warning signs that we are being drawn in. Of course, these are the big, dramatic examples everyone is conscious of these days. But don't forget that there are subtler evils we can all fall victim to as well. Pride, jealousy, narcissism, gossip, judgmentalism, impatience or anger, and the list goes on. If you fall foul of one of them, the chances are you can be drawn in by others. So remember to ask yourself, what do these evils look like from the inside? And while you're there, here's some more food for thought. As always, you're welcome to read along with us or read ahead if you prefer. You may have questions you'd like to add to the comments. Enjoy the journey.